Well, I put that rear window fairing on, so the rear window's all done. But to hold it into position, I put that weather stripping in there. Well, I've got the weather stripping in for the slider windows, the back piece back there against the rear window post, the one against the front window post here. I guess it's not the front window post, but the slider window post, and this lower slider, the weather stripping, I put all that in. I used a little bit of black RTV to fill in the gaps in there that like in the back and along the edges, and make sure to seal that up so moisture doesn't get down between this channel and the airplane and the weather stripping itself. And I've set my windows in there, just the cutouts. I still need some work to do on those. I still need to sand them down, fit them to size. This back one is fairly close, but this front one's going to take some sanding down on it to get it down. And then this triangular window here in the front, it doesn't come close to fitting yet, so it's going to need quite a bit of work on it. I'm going to go ahead and fit these windows up so they're ready to put in, but I think before I close this all in, I'm going to go ahead and finish up these wing roots by putting my fuel gauges in. I have to put those all together and get those put in. Well, that way I won't have to fight doing that after I get the plastic in, the windows and stuff. I got the two slider windows fitted and they're set up in there. The top weather strip channel, fuzzy channel's not in there yet, so those are just sitting in there for right now. But they're all fitted the way they're going to go. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do for handle and stuff on them. Anyway, I'll just leave those the way they are for now. I got the front little triangular window here fitted in there, and I did just like I did the D windows back there. I opened this little channel up here that it fits in. Then I put some zinc chromate paste in there so that that would fill that channel up and kind of seal that window. And I polished this window up. I took it down and cut it out for this vent. I debated whether to put that vent in there or not because it's all cloudy and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. It's just the type of plastic it is. It's just cloudy and kind of gray, crazed. Doesn't hurt the function of it any, and doesn't block the view any or anything like that. I thought about getting a new one or something different or leaving it out or something, but it is nice to have that in there to get some fresh air when it's hot, and when it's cool and damp in there and gets foggy, the windows get foggy and stuff, you open that up and that helps keep the windows from fogging up on those days like that. Well, anyway, I found the hole saw and cut that out, and it cut out okay, cut out fine. I sanded everything all down, smoothed it all down and everything, and put it in here. Well, it screwed up. It got a little crack. I had this channel pulled out a little bit to make it easier to get that window in and out, because I couldn't get it, even dry fitting it in there before anything was in there, I couldn't get it shoved all the way in. So anyway, I had pulled that out, bent that out a little bit, and when I went to bend it back in, this nose right here cracked. And there was a little crack, or a little line, where I'd missed with the knife when I cut that out. When I marked that out and cut it, I got off just a little bit and just a short distance there. And I took and sanded that down and sanded that out, and I thought it had it okay, but it was just enough there that when I went to try to bend this in, that crack there. Oh, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to order some new plexiglass for that top piece, because I screwed it up back there, heating it up and boiled it, blistered it. I think I'll order some more plexiglass anyway, so I think I'll order some extra stuff and maybe cut out a new piece for this one before we get too far in it, if I get it in time. I don't have any of the adhesive of the glue for this plexiglass. You glue it together, it actually welds itself together, it melts together. But I took a syringe and took a little bit of acetone and just put on that line, and it seemed like the capillary action just pulled that right down that crack, and hopefully maybe that welded that together. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be moving or anything. It's not broken all the way, and it doesn't seem to flex too much there. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Well, I'm going to cut this plastic out for this triangular side window, and I've got my line laid out. I laid the window down on there and traced out the shape of it, and then I went over a couple inches and marked a line, the length of that. This sheet, this is too deep for me to cut on the bandsaw the way it is, So I'm going to go ahead and score that and cut it and break it like I did before on those when I broke them down. Well, I'm going to do a little bit different this time. And it doesn't make any difference. I've got it far enough off of here now that if my knife wanders a little bit and the line doesn't go straight, it's not going to make any difference. But I took my knife down to the grinder. I tried filing it before and I'd made a hook on it, but it still had a sharp point. Well, I took my knife down to the grinder and I ground off the blade, the tapered, the sharp part of the blade. I ground a little hook on there and I took it and put it on the stone and smoothed it up and filed it. So it's got a blunt point. It's a sharp point, but it's flat instead of being sharp like a knife. Oh, it should gouge or scrape that plastic, and maybe it won't wander on that line like it did before. Yeah, that works a little better. So instead of just cutting a V in a wedge, it's actually peeling out a little bit and that making a little bit of a trough there. So I don't know how many times I need to score this to make a break, but it doesn't want to pull at all now. It wants to stay on my line pretty good. I got a pretty good trough groove cut in there. I'm going to make a couple more scores on it just because I can, and I'm not in a hurry. I'm not getting paid by the hour here. In fact, I'm going to reverse my knife and go back this direction on this end to make sure I get a good cut on it. Alright, well, we'll see how that works. One thing, run that over the edge here and get it right on the edge. I don't want to break. There it went. Push hard, it'll go easy.